Okay, hi everyone, and welcome back to my video. And just to continue, right? Continue because I mentioned we'll talk about the law of one, but I just kind of had to find a peaceful environment, and I first thought I would go to library and put the law of one on the Ko-Fi, but totally forgot that they already closed. And so let me then make a video, and I hope you're doing well. Yeah, welcome here to my hologram. I hope you're enjoying yourself. Take a deep breath, just kind of taking a pause, deep breath. Make sure you have time for relaxation, contemplation, very intense energies. At the same time, if you go to nature just for 20 minutes, I got back from the beach. It was kind of rough, high tide, so I mostly meditated, but I feel again renewed, refreshed. So I can continue, do what I gotta do. Healing ourselves first, of course, so we can send these energies to other people, to other planets, right? And the Mother Earth, Mother Nature, Gaia, Sophia, right? She is actually the goddess. She's the goddess energy. She's a medicine woman, and with all these 5 elements, and the ocean, and the wind, and the sun, and the sand, right? These beautiful plasma light frequencies, photonic lights. It's all about tuning in and activating our crystalline DNA, right? And just kind of then connecting to the crystals in the air, in the atmosphere, guys. That's how we are ascending, shifting, right? Expanding our consciousness. That's how we are healing ourselves, and being the change makers, right? To be the change you want to see in the world. That's how we make a difference. And then it's like a ripple effect, right? Even just people on the beach or walking there, it's just a very positive, high vibe there. And people, you can see those are really health oriented, right? They're either running or walking, or enjoying themselves, right? Families come there, with their children. So there are lots of people actually taking their bikes. So it's just a beautiful atmosphere, because I'm taking this like a long boardwalk that takes me through a park. It's kind of a little bit swamp kind of thing, but it's lots of trees, lots of green, and then it takes me to the beach. And unfortunately also I see cars being parked there. There was a shocking experience when I saw cars parked on the beach, whether, I don't know, that was a long time ago, just kind of shortly when I arrived, whether it was New York or then I saw them in Massachusetts. It was a shock for me. That's something that I don't see that is inspiring. Taking car to the beach and parking there. I just don't like these energies. It's very unnatural, and but again, that's my opinion, that's my experience. And here we'll be working also with the light and dark energies, right? So don't be again afraid of your shadow, because it's part of our experience. And those we're on a karmic path, from karma we're going into dharma. So if you're working on your energies, working on your project, your purpose, right? You're working on yourself. You asking yourselves, who am I? Why did I come here to this planet? What are my gifts and talents? How can I contribute to this ascension process and to healing and helping others, right? So you're immediately being supported, and you're aligning yourself with the universal laws, the law of one. And also aligning with the law, with the will of God, right? Not my will by done be done, where the ego needs to be transformed, transmuted, especially the negative ego, right? Because we still need, some of us, we have very strong personality, and building a strong character based on virtues, ethics, and morals, very important. I mean, it's the virtues of your soul, right? So some of us are extremely powerful individuals. Those are the leaders, or those are the way showers or forerunners. That's kind of how we are, right? In our past lives, we were leaders already, military leaders, or we were lawyers and judges, right? So but we're ending here the cycle of that old earth in a way, and everything has to be, like I said, reconciled. Everything has to be looked at, right? Looking at all the skeletons in our closet. Just make peace with everything, with everybody. Forgiveness is very important, so I recommending the vowed flame of transformation, transmutation, Sanskrit, right? Japa mantra meditation. Very important, and positive affirmations, and just don't be afraid of the shadow, right? It's we have to overcome the fear to become fearless through loving ourselves, taking care of ourselves, being compassionate, okay, and learning just how to be what the compassionate witness, just to observe the positive, negative, right? And namaste through your heart, connecting to your inner Christos. The inner alchemy happens like a miracles. We become a miracle workers, right? Instead of just kind of wreaking havoc, or being negative and just kind of projecting the negative shadow, projecting our fears and anger and frustration, right? We're acknowledging all that. We're breathing through that. We're grounding ourselves, kind of straight spine, right? Some breath of fire. A long deep inhalation, long deep exhalation, kind of take a pause, right? Step back. We're here in a matrix, computer simulation, right? The whole CIA kind of Hollywood movie industry there under DARPA actually, and all these planetary corporations, right? With this also Nibirian military bases, right? So, and with their highly advanced technology. So it's just kind of okay. We're in a mind game here. This is a chess game in a way, right? Here is a stage, and we're playing our role. So very important to know yourself, know your role. It is a process, and you embark on a journey of evolution, of consciousness expansion, of growth, and you are you become the hero, because here we are here to master ourselves and to really know ourselves, who we truly are, because the matrix was mirroring to us who we are not, lowering our frequency vibration, right? All these lies and deceptions, and then all these military operations, psyops, right? And misusing highly advanced technology and disrupting the natural flow of your brainwave frequencies. They also were hacking our chakras and DNA and reversing it, right? And now it's time, to claim your power back in the, that's the 12th tree of life, the Katara grid, right? With 12 spheres, because so many of us ended up in that reversal, inversion, right? Based in mathematics, the whole Draco kind of tyranny, and of course controlled by the fallen angelics, the hybrid Anunnaki. So, time to make peace with everything, with everybody and everything that happened to us. So choosing compassion, choosing love, choosing understanding, because we're learning our lessons. We came here, of course, to expand our consciousness, learn our lessons. So in a way, this is part of this evolutionary cycle, and evolution is imminent. And the entire like swastika, or the symbology of those negative ones, right? The black occult, right? We are bringing everything right side up. We're doing all this correction. For some individuals, it may be very painful, right? It's very challenging, right? And so that's why also the non-attachment is very important. Just watch and observe, right? And instead of being so attached, remember, we're in this world but not of it. And know yourself and be free, right? The kingdom of heaven is within. I was talking about doing some tapping, some emotional freedom techniques, some acupuncture, some energy work, and so on, and being in nature, being on the sun, and enjoying your true self, okay? Enjoying your true divine nature. So why the law of one? Why is it so important, and what it really represents here for those who are on the galactic ascension journey, or who are anchoring cosmic energies, right? This is, you know, the pretty much how the universe operates, right? We talk about the ascension mechanics, how important it is. It gives you a perfect construct, right? Because we read energies, and we also kind of can detect, you know, where we are vibrating, or, you know, kind of who is who with their consciousness. Remember, everything's a reflection, right? How you perceive others is actually the level of your consciousness. So what you see, you know, in others is actually, it's being mirrored through your filters. I mean, it's mirrored through your soul signature, energy signature. Everything is a mirror. Okay, so you know, we think we're talking about you know, other people, and sometimes people don't realize that actually things are popping up within themselves, and unless you resolve it, acknowledge it, you're projecting the shadow, the negative self, right? And it's in a way, all this gossiping and all this judgment, it's a black magic. It's a type of black magic, and or sorcery. So time to be responsible, everything is accounted for, and time to, you know, instead of being an automatic pilot, right, time to be mindful and having a huge sense of self-awareness. So this law of one, it is the secret science of mechanics of Christ consciousness. Again, if you want to learn more about the Christ consciousness and everything, what it is, and pretty much natural laws, they govern our universal creation. So if you want to understand how the universe was created, or, you know, what life is really all about, the true nature of reality, right? This is or everything in the natural laws. And, you know, Yeshua, you know, his teachings was all about the natural laws, you know, the law of one, and you know, the art and science of yoga, and you know, going deeply into meditation, and reconnecting with that inner kingdom, with that divine spark within that sacred chamber of the sacred heart. Okay, which is your 8th dimension, which is the Stargate portal to these other dimensions. So all is one. So it is the recognition that eternal truth is eternal love, and eternal love is the organic consciousness of infinite creator. Eternal love consciousness embodied in a form is unity intelligence, simultaneously recognized as the inner light of Christos. Unity consciousness is at one with God, and unity consciousness ignites the inner light of Christos. The inner light of Christos, when actualized in form, is the embodiment of an eternal God human. So practice unity consciousness, and law of one is directly reflecting the image of God's love. So understanding universal laws, you actually start understanding really what life is about and what love is about, right? If somebody tells you, oh, I love you, and things like that, right? So, you know, those are very sensitive, and who reads energy, you know, it's nothing like God's eternal presence, you know, that you embody, or that, you know, you start channeling, and that's priceless. And here in human form, we're learning pretty much what love is, what God is, what life is, you know. So it's a process, but we need rules, right? We need some directions, we need some regulations, you know, and that's what the law of one is teaching us. And very important to kind of establish some kind of boundaries, and some kind of communication, and some kind of contract and agreement. And we came also here to know ourselves, who we truly are, right? The self-knowledge, self-awareness, self-realization, self-actualization, right? That's yoga, unity with the divine. And be at one with all, as one is all with God. So every soul is taking the same journey, but each soul has evolved at a different level. The teachings of the Law of One describe the spiritual laws that govern our spiritual evolution for each dimension. Remember, we're on our own individual journey, whether it's of ascension, of healing, of consciousness expansion, right? Some people, you know, I mean, the star seeds we already, or the indigo warriors, we already came, you know, with telepathy, you know, third eye open, right? Some of us already came self-realized, we already came somewhat ascended, right? The golden liquid light was around us, you know, the crystalline heart, the compassionate heart. But here it takes time for other people to recognize it. And also, if we are born in a family full of karma, or this curses and black magic, and you know, the kind of with the kind of Nazi structure and so on, so and you are the one shining the light, of course other people are going to be judging you and saying that, you know, you are horrible person, right, evil person, because, you know, that negativity is coming from, you know, those parents or from those people that haven't recognized, you know, that inner shadow, that they haven't recognized that actually thoughts are creating their realities, and they haven't really understand why are they reacting to some people who are full of light, and you know, why it's triggering them because of their trauma, because of their pain, because of their mind control. And some individuals, they even are born with entities, and I know that I come to this family with all kinds of karmic you know, imprints and miasma and entities, and you know, things from World War II, right? And this whole mind control comes from your parents and your grandparents, you know, things that your ancestors have not reconciled, they haven't healed, they haven't embraced, they haven't transformed. So some of us starseeds, we have to come here, right, download all these karmic imprints from your father's side, mother's side, and here we go. We have to process everything and transform everything. So yeah, it is a single philosophical system of world humanism, and which merges cosmology, science, human rights, and spiritualism. Okay, so this is how it is described by you know, the energetic synthesis, Lisa Renee, Ascension glossary. So yeah, very important. It is a philosophy, yoga I love yoga philosophy. It's full of virtues, ethics, morals, and you know, the self-study, self-discipline, or spiritual discipline, right? How to control your triggers, how to transmute your ego, or how to control your ego, not allow the ego or the shadow to control you, you know, with all these triggers and, you know, with all these reactions, right? It's for us to master ourselves and to start acting and be the violet flame in action, you know, transforming negative situations. Everything is fluid, everything is vibration, right? Everything moves, you know, energy moves in a circle of motion. So all these tamasic energies, right? We talk about the black subtle forces. Some people are stuck, you know, in the negativity or in depression and anxiety, and all these drugs and addictions and all these possessions, all these demonic spirits or Satanism and so on. Remember, you can shift, you can change the energies, right? When it's time for you, and when, of course, asking for help or doing some prayers, meditations, ask and you receive, okay? Seek and you find, and knock and the door will be open up upon you, open to you. So the law of one is the universal truth that all is one. Okay, so we all come from source, right? From that one particle. And it is the truth taught by Christ, of course, and he proclaimed, love your neighbor as you love yourself. So this is the kind of thing, namaste, right? Understanding yourself, loving yourself, knowing who you truly are, then you start seeing these energies, these loving, beautiful energies in others, right? In their soul, even though their energy can be filthy, dirty, and even demonic, but you're recognizing the soul within them. There's still light, but it's been shattered and demonized and of course hexed, and it's full of kind of dark energies, right? Especially like, you know, so if you're a Marine or super soldier in the military and you're the royalty, right, the bloodline kind of family, they actually that's even what happened to me. They just want to totally destroy your higher heart, your sacred heart, and insert the black Anubis heart into you, right? And creating robot or digital avatar out of you. So again, through AI, right? It's all going to divine justice, you know, cosmic trials. Justice will be served. And so it is, the law of one is an energetic reality as well, a creational covenant with the founder races. So that's why we came here to be to have direct connection to God, to source. That's how angelic divine luminous beings were designed, having direct connection to God, to source, with crystalline heart, with plasma light body. Okay, and we came here to finally, you know, have those connections, right, where the column of light shining bright, helping to dissolve and resolve, you know, all these demonic entities, all these black magic, all these tricks from DARPA, right, the fallen angelics and the Draco, the negative ones, the negative faction, kind of the whole, the kind of terroristic kind of totalitarian faction, right, with their highly advanced technology, everything computerized, their weapons computerized, and with all these alien implants and, you know, holographic inserts to keep us in lower frequency vibration. So this is why we are bringing the Emerald Order here, Emerald Covenant, and the Cosmic Order is here. The law of one is practiced by advanced races. So yes, we already, like I said, came here. We're very advanced, from extremely high frequency dimensions. We're the volunteer soul. It is total sacrifice. It's here, we're of service, right? We love God unconditionally. So when Mother Earth, Mother Nature called for help, we heard the call, and you know, we're just doing whatever needs to be done. We're not just like, oh, whether I like it or I don't like it, and you know, no, you're here of service, you're here to serve, okay, and that's it. So, and of course, it's all about self-responsibility and accountability, right, in this universal time matrix. So through the comprehension of the energetic interconnection that exists between all living things. So everything's interconnected, right? Also, what you send out there will be sent back to you, right? So that's why we're bringing into the law of one. It's extremely important because, you know, the Cabal, the Illuminati, right? The secret societies of the negative faction, the power elite, the high echelon, right? That was all about the OTO, Ordo Templi Orientis, the law of reversals, the Aleister Crowley, the whole black magic, and of course DARPA, you know, with the looking glass technology, highly advanced, 100 years in the future. So the law of one expresses and acknowledges the interconnection, value, and interdependence of the spirit and consciousness. So everything is interdependent, you know. So, you know, that's why it's so important to be in 0 point divine neutrality, just living simply, right? Being simple, humble, just kind of keep it simple. Modest, honest, right? Because everything's reflection, right? And it's what we are putting out there will come back to us, right? The thing is, those who were star seeds and also highly advanced souls, and we came here to kind of deal with the darkness, right? The law of reversal and the black magic was actually the energy, right? From those dark ones, from the red trident, from the that's the Thotian Leviathan technology, the anti-hero technology. They were constantly projecting you know, their karma upon us. And here, of course, people who may, you know, misread energies, that maybe they were thinking we're the bad guys, right? And so that's why the law of one is extremely important, because now the cosmic wheel is turning, right? And the swastika is turning into the cosmic cycle, okay? Into the true sacred geometry, sacred math based on mathematics, okay? And even the whole Metatronic reversals is being corrected through the Metatronic heart, your AD, right? The cosmic, you know, Christos Metatron, Archangel Metatron is also in his full power, because there was so much misuse, abuse of that energy, and of course, there's a long history, of course, of the Galactic wars, and how extremely powerful ascended masters were hooked to AI, and how also they were abducted and their DNA was dissected, or it was stolen, right? Replicated, copied. And that's why the negative ones, they had all these beast machine, sex misery machine, all these lunar forces. The negative ones, they even brought the moon satellite, right? With all these military bases, were, you know, kind of wreaking havoc on the planet, and then they were having parties on the dark side of the moon. Right? That's how kind of they established, because they can move the orbit of the planet, right? Or, you know, they can bring other satellites here onto this solar system, and this is how they're highly advanced on their spacecraft. Of course, they have the reverse engineering, the plasma kind of propulsion technology. So Okay. And the path is God, sovereign, free. So practice 1, guys, is unity consciousness. And remember that we are made of intelligent energy and we are part of the all one. And so nothing is separate, right? That's why we are bringing the darkness back into light, because it's part of the consciousness, and consciousness includes AI, right? And it's actually in its it's programmable, but it's neutral, right? And so what are we doing with the consciousness? What are we doing with the AI? Are we using it in a constructive way or destructive way? Because we're the co-creators with the divine, right? We're so powerful beings, and so that's why the responsibility, the law of one, everything's kicking in, because everything's now reflected back to us. Okay. And actually justice is there's nothing that you have to force. Yeah, it's energy, right? I mean, even the foundation for universal laws and even for the original constitution of 1776 is energy. So if you know how to work with energies, with those primary forces, right? And in Ayurveda, the gunas, right? We took a guna, the sattva, the sattva energy, the tamasic energy, the rajasic energies, and so on. And here we talk about the black subtle forces, the yellow subtle forces, the positive polarity, and then of course the neutrality, the 0 point. And so the law of one is a sacred science of the mechanics of consciousness. So that's why, you know, understanding the mechanics of ascension, and very important, and are the natural laws governing our universal creation. So all one is the recognition that eternal truth is eternal love, and eternal love is the organic consciousness of infinite creator. So being organic is being loving, being creative, right? Being in the flow, sharing with others. You know, this is how you're being organic. And it's organic, let me see, of infinite creator. Eternal love consciousness embodied in form is unity intelligence, and simultaneously recognized as the inner light of Christos. Unity consciousness is at one with God, and unity consciousness ignites the inner light of Christos. The inner light of Christos, when actualized in form, is the embodiment of an eternal God human. Practice unity consciousness, and one is directly reflecting the image of God's love and is eternally protected. Be at one with all, as one is all with God. Okay. Practice 2 is love yourself. So important, guys, to love yourself and being loving towards yourself, honoring yourself, respecting yourself, acknowledge the precious life force that is within you, and it's holding reverence, respect for yourself, and in all ways, always and in all ways, in all dimensions, stations of identities, on all layers, okay, of existence. Loving yourself is the action of self-sovereignty, which is the natural state of embodying God's eternal love. As the manifestation of God's eternal spirit of love, one has the ability to choose to create personal freedom without harming others, right? Ahimsa, it's in Sanskrit, do no harm, right? So not only being like physically or, you know, and so on, but also energetically, right? Or, you know, some people, they're pretending, right? They're so sweet, all this sugar coatedness, and but again, if you read energies and so on, all this pretending, right? All these lies, white lies, and so on. And you know, people can hurt also. They can hurt you mentally, right? Emotionally, especially people have negative emotions. So it means they have entity attachments, demonic entities. And here we have those silent weapons, right? This what is it, the electronic harassments, the military grade, mind control, right? So this is all going to divine justice, because they are not, or, you know, of course, those who are still continuing, you know, they are not following the universal laws, and the Galactic Code has been implemented. So they need to make an adjustment. They have to see the consequences of their actions and start helping others or healing themselves. They need the rehabilitation of their DNA consciousness, of their hologram, okay, and they need to be deprogrammed. They need to rewire their subconscious mind, okay, through bioregenesis. So I have a project for DARPA-MC. So have courage to remove the obstacles of pain and fear. So time to be courageous, but in a way that, you know, we're facing our shadow, right? We're facing our pain body. We're acknowledging our dogma, all this mind control, all this programming, conditioning, and so on. And through loving ourselves, right? That's the love for yourself practice too. We are dissolving all that, right? Or we're sending those energies back to source, okay? And that way, you know, we can then expand our consciousness. We can heal ourselves and embody the Christos avatar. And yeah, and you become embodied love, as God's spirit is always found within you, right? The kingdom of heaven is within you. Practice 3 is love others. So as you learn to love yourself, love others, right? So very important. Or I can notice how so many people, they're for others, or people are working hard, right? And when you ask them some questions, or when you show them, or kind of ask them, you know, are you also really loving yourself? Some people get shocked. They don't know how to love themselves, how to be with themselves, how to kind of be alone, how to have peace, right? They constantly need some kind of either interaction, or they need interferences and so on. So you know, very important. It's okay if you learn how to love others. Now it's time for you to learn how to love yourself. Again, acknowledge the precious life force in others by holding love, reverence, respect for others, and loving others as you love yourself. That's the natural state of self-sovereignty. That's how you start feeling your freedom and your power that comes from within, connection to the divine, embodying your soul, because you're the light of the soul, light of your soul, and you give others the same reverence for life. Again, namaste, 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 as you give your own life. Through practicing self-love and loving others, no approval, there has to be no approval, worth or esteem issues come into question, as all is loved equally. Also, oh, you know, this is just my family, you're not my family, why am I taking care of you? Or the children, they're not my children, so, you know, it's okay, you know, if they're adopted or they're being abused, right? So this is the separation. This is conquer and divide. This is you know, oh, this is not mine, possessions, right? Or this is mine, this is not yours. And it's just very selfish. It's service to self. It's very selfish, full of ignorance, arrogancy, darkness, ego, right? Again, it's okay. So we need to acknowledge it, because we need to recognize that all is interconnected. We all come from one source, right? Love is within us, right? The soul, you know, the consciousness is within that sacred chamber of our heart. The kingdom of heaven is within. And then we see that love in all of us, whether you're poor, whether you are black, whether you are yellow, whether you are rich, whether you're a woman or a child or male, whether, you know, you're military or politician, whether you are, you know, elderly, and so on. So you know, start connecting to the light of the soul, first from within with yourself, and then with others. And practice number 4 is love earth and nature, loving the earth and all her creations, the kingdom of nature, plants, animals, and minerals, right, which are all alive, conscious, intelligent energy beings. Acknowledge the precious life force present in all God's creation by holding reverence, respect for nature, Mother Earth, Mother Nature, the goddess energies, all the plants, healing medicine, okay, very important, for trees, for the ocean, for the rivers, for the streams, for the mountains, for the valleys, for the meadows, okay, with these beautiful flowers and grass, the green, right? There's a sacred geometry in each and every leaf of a tree, and with all these roots, okay, so, and they have their own communication. It's actually very intelligent and very intelligent beings in a way. They communicate as well, and they feel, right? So when we're cutting tree, it's like we're cutting ourselves, we're hurting ourselves. So start understanding, right? I mean, I had this the little lizards, right? If they get stuck, it's in the house, so I make sure I catch them and I put them back into nature. Or those little spiders, right? I take them and just put them back into nature, right? So more and more just be aware and conscious of these kind of things. You know, even I know in India, some of those sages, rishis, right? I mean, they meditate, you know, the flies are all over them and they're meditating. They're not arguing or you know, kind of slapping those flies, because, you know, they're practicing law of law of ahimsa, I mean, do no harm, right? And at the same time, they know how to control themselves at the same time, and energetically they can even they can send those flies or put them in just kind of sleeping mode, right? You can regulate those energies around you, within you. Some of the Rishi sages, they go to mountains, there's a snow, and they know how to actually make themselves warm, right? You know, through the inner alchemy, through empowering yourself from within, understanding, you know, the universal laws, the 5 elements, right? I mean, breath work, very important, and the power of concentration, of focus, of meditation. Okay, so doing so restores balance and harmony to nature, and the intelligent energy of all Earth's creations will respond to cooperate with humankind, right? So it's the same thing what we do with Mother Earth, Mother Nature. So I bought this plastic bags. They're environmentally friendly, right? Doing recycling, even though it's very difficult, hard, not that many. This is not a good state and even city. They don't really care much about recycling or recycling glass. Do you know how many people, right? That was, I think, in New Mexico, they're building these kind of earth ships based out of glass, right? And we could have preserved the environment, right? And of course, you know, recycling like paper, right? The best recycling factory I saw in Sedona, Arizona. Okay, so I know that they were really recycling, taking seriously and taking care of the environment. So it's time for us, right? Also, like with the gardening and, you know, compost, right? It's actually, it should be south and west position where you know, use your compost, putting back into the earth, right? For recycling. So everything is his order, right? The natural cycle of the earth and of course of the universe, of the cosmos, and we have to learn, understand that. And yoga, Ayurveda, the Vedanta, you know, they have all the teachings. And so humans living in discord, if you live in discord with nature, create many events that are considered to be at the mercy of untamed forces. So for example, if there's an earthquake and something is tsunami, and those people who either meditate, you know, they created this protective shield around them. You know, they're harmonizing energies with nature, right? So many instances are where, you know, people are suffering and they're losing their homes. And those who really understand energies and have connection to Mother Earth, Mother Nature, to the sky, to the divine, their homes, houses, and their territory is protected, is not being destroyed. And you see, I mean, everything's reflection, everything's a mirror, right, of our actions, of our consciousness. So as humans learn to live in harmony with nature, with earth, which is Ayurveda, and, you know, the nature kingdom, the natural creatures will align to be in harmony and cooperation with all inhabitants. So how some people, they don't like bears, like but you don't need to shoot the bear, especially when they're with their cubs, right? So many people, or like I know even like the military, they do the they're hunting, they like to do the hunting, or they kill deers, right? So I already, you know, kind of train somebody, please stop killing those deers, you know, especially like, you know, they're such a tender, beautiful souls, such a beautiful energies of protection, of love. And especially when you see family, nature, or even bears, right? Have some compassion, because, you know, you do all this hunting and so on, and then something happens to those guys, right? And they get, they're frozen. I guess they may be full of fear, but look what you've done to nature. Look what are you doing to animals, right? Look also how the Mother Earth is being polluted, also the ocean, right, with all these like submarines and all these horrible toxins and the extremely low frequency vibration, the microwave kind of frequency, and what they do also to whales and to dolphins with all this harmful frequency of their sonic technology, that it's off, right, the 440 hertz and so on. So what goes around comes around, right? The law of one is coming online, you know, implementing the Galactic Codex, and you know, everybody's responsible. We have to face our own shadow. We're on a individual ascension journey. Practice 5 is service to others, guys. Upon firmly loving yourself, honoring your path, find methods to be of service to others that do not overstep personal boundaries of discernment. Being of service to others does not include consumptive modeling such as victim, victimizer, parasitism, or emotional vampirism. Being of service does not hold an ego perspective of entitlement, expectation, and attachment. Like in these relationships, like I was watching these movies, right? Oh, you have to be with me, and oh, you made love to me, now you belong to me, and you have to do everything that I'm telling you to do, right? All these attachments, all these expectation, all this entitlement, right? Whether, you know, in the corporate structure, political structure, military structure, in relationships, in family, right? Name it. It's all needs to be kind of dissolved, or first recognized, acknowledged, and transform. Practice being of service with unconditional love, naturally flowing in the moment, the power of now. Very important, right? The energy exchange made between participants, being of service to others, amplifies and expands consciousness growth like no other method. The more you amplify the energetic field of being in service to others, the more joy, harmony, and gifts will be brought into your life, right? Just humanitarian projects, those are helping others. You know how it really uplifts your soul, how you're raising your frequency vibration. It has a ripple effect, and suddenly this abundance comes back to you. And it doesn't always mean money, but it's all kinds of gifts, and just people kind of you know, asking you know, for advice, and people are gifting you with flowers, and they're telling you thank you. And so there are other forms of receiving abundance. It doesn't have to always come you know, with the gold coins or silver currency or bitcoins, but you know, all is good. The more service you dedicate to God plan, the law of one, the more spiritual support and spiritual presence one can exchange with God force. There's nothing like love for God and feeling God's presence. Like I said, it's priceless. And even like the sexual energies, right? Especially if you're a female, if you're a woman, you have a womb, right? If you know how to channel your energies, you are sovereign. You are free. Okay, and that's why, you know, freeing myself from all these sex addictions and all these sex games, especially in the military, the whole Baphomet network, the black magic grid, and all this, you know, weaponry, how the love is weaponized, and how you know, you're constantly being targeted, the electronic harassment, and that, you know, that I'm a bad person, or I am bitch or whatever. Well, I have a very strong, powerful sexual energies. I'm a tantric practitioner, you know. I studied tantric yoga and other yoga practices, and I chant, and you know, we embody the cosmic energies here. So, and we are addressing this kind of issue, especially in the military, the whole sex games and the sex addiction and the rape and the pornography and the pedophilia. That all needs to be acknowledged so it can be healed. And understand those guys, so they have a sex tapes. I mean, there's just all kinds of stuff there going on. Okay, practice number 6 is consciousness expansion. That's why we came here to explore, to really kind of, this is a playground. What can we create, right? And very important, like, you know, the creation is neutral. Are you using it constructively or destructively? Even the AI is neutral. Are you using the AI constructively or destructively, right? So learn to develop inner clarity and spiritual integrity by intending to develop personal consciousness and or spiritual identity. To embody one's spiritual identity, one's mind must be initiated and discipline. Very important to be you know, spiritual discipline, right? The yogas, the yamas, niyamas, the yoga philosophy, and so on. Study yourself, discipline yourself, you know, 8 steps of yoga. Withdraw from the external world, right? And start to conserve your energies and be inner directed and inner sustained. If the ego is in the way, is in the authority of the body, it will repel the spiritual identity from embodiment. If the mental body creates obstacles to the spiritual identity, therefore the consciousness, will not be experienced. So usually the ego, the 3D ego mind, is in the way to experience this beautiful loving energies of Holy Mother, Divine Mother, of the Divine Feminine, right? And especially for guys, you know, if they're in, you know, their kind of male body, this is now a must. This is actually, you know, this is your medicine to embody or feel your intuition, feeling your heart, just kind of embracing your feelings and heal your negative emotions, right? Is a must in order to get more strength of that divine masculine energies. Because remember, you know, we are composed of these energies, right? The law of gender, if you study law of gender, which is a 13th principle, right? Now we have the 13 galactic zodiac of Ficus, right? So the divine masculine merges with the divine feminine. These energies are within you. Even though physically I'm a female form, right? Energetically, we are bringing these energies back into balance. Namaste, right? The electromagnetic field, that's who we truly are, right? Bringing it together in perfect peace and harmony, and that's how we are self-realized, and that's how we are walking those energies of ascension and helping others. And knowing who we truly are. Know yourself and be free. We are freeing ourselves from the matrix, from the computer simulation. Very important. So the first step to conscious expansion is becoming aware of mind control and the quality content of thoughts and belief systems. Check with your belief system. Check with your thoughts. That's the practice of the evolving self, right? We have the 5D protocol from Telos, from the inner earth. Right, those are our starseed family. They're our friends. They're our family in the inner earth. They're in those higher dimensions. So the second step is to cooperate with the process of mental and physical discomfort by having patience and waiting in the void of silence. Very important to find time for yourself. Here, even in a car, in a park, on the beach, in the mountains, or sit by a tree, be like a Buddha, Bodhisattva, under the Bodhi tree, and just contemplate, meditate, have your notebook, and start noticing your thoughts. Are you on an automatic pilot, or you start being aware of what are you projecting, what are you putting out there, what kind of frequency, what kind of thought forms are you emitting, and what are you transmitting, and then what kind of energies are you receiving? Is it really you, it is your energy, or somebody else is sending you interesting energies, right? Then you have to like, oh, bye-bye, thank you, you know, God, sovereign, free boundaries, sending those energies back to source for transformation, transmutation, and peace on earth, right? Because we are not doing the black magic here anymore on all this gossiping and harming others through frequency vibration, through projecting our negative ego, or, you know, some individuals that are still, right, in that physical war state. Learn to quiet the mind, sublimate the ego, and be still, and know that I am God, right? Once stillness, mental discipline, and ego sublimation has been achieved, listen to your inner spirit to receive guidance. That's how you're being divinely guided. You're being protected. You're being healed. Inner guidance will always lead to the process of re-education to experience continual conscious expansion free of fear and dogma, right? In those kind of energies, the fear and dogma is being dissolved, totally resolved, diluted, right? And you just become Om. You just become the primordial sound, or have connection to that primordial sound. You're all that is. You're Satchitananda. The inner Christos always guides one towards choosing more love and peace via conscious expansion of the spiritual identity. You start more and more experiencing the consciousness of your soul. When you become soul realized, right, you start being aware and feel that you're the light of the soul. Then you also start having your galactivation. You start also embodying or being in touch with your oversoul. That's your monad, your monadic self, right? And once you have all this initiation, you know, you reach the frequency vibration, right, of that 9D, which is the universal Kundalini, right? You're activating your not only 7 primary chakras, particle chakras, but also your anti-particle chakras are being activated. Then you can embody. Now, first, of course, you're embodying your planetary logos, 7 dimension, and then you're getting your galactivation, and then you can embody your solo logos, your Christos avatar self. And then practice number 7 is responsible co-creation. As one becomes more infused with the eternal love of the spiritual identity, right? That you're spiritual beings having human experience. You're a sound, light, frequency, vibration. You're a 99.9% energy, 0.1% matter. The intelligent blueprint activates the divine purpose of being as a co-creator with the divine, and that's the emerald order, emerald covenant, cosmic sovereign law, the loving co-creation with the divine under the law of one with free will. The spiritual identity and the intelligent blueprint of divine purpose are one and the same. Okay, so the intelligent blueprint of divine purpose and spiritual identity, you become fused one with source, with all that is, with Om. Clarity of purpose and direction becomes clearer and clearer as one commits to live in service to the principle of all one or Christ spirit. To me, the detachment, the 0 point, divine neutrality, just being simple, humble, being in your heart, just kind of focusing on your project, on your mission, loving yourself unconditionally, being forgiving, being compassionate with everything that happened to you, being selfless, right? To me, this is how you build the momentum where you start connecting to all that is, right? With the earth, with the sky, with your soul, your soul tribe or oversoul, and so on. And then of course more and more you're embodying the energies of creator, of all that is, right? And you become omnipresent, omnipotent, omniscient. Knowing and living our purpose brings joy, peace, fulfillment, even when facing adversity or challenges. Psychic self-defense, guys, very important with all this harassment and, you know, with all this kind of black magic, and, you know, especially like the military, the whole black magic, red trident, you know, this psyops, the psychological operation, the whole man in black, and so on. I had to learn how to clear my house, I mean my body, right? Do all this detoxing and so on, raising the frequency, vibration, have the protection, the 12, the shielding, the unity vibe, unity meditation, the 3 hearts meditation, and you know, understanding the universal laws, aligning yourself with the law of one, and that's how you get protection. You're being helped. Of course, it's a process. So knowing and living one our purpose, right? It brings joy, peace, and fulfillment, even when we're facing challenges. Once we achieve knowing, we are responsible for that knowing. The inner knowing is very important, and we practice responsible co-creation. We're being responsible, we're watchful, we're mindful, right? We're careful, right? But not in a fearful way, but in a very caring way. We're caring, we're loving, okay? We're embracing it all, right? It's like what is it, Salieri at the movie Mozart, Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart from 1984 was also one of my favorite movies. So Salieri at the end of the movie, right, when he shares the story how he kind of, well, destroyed Mozart's life, right? He's on this wheelchair, he's in that psych ward, right? And I'm dissolving you all, I'm dissolving you all. He just feels the connection with all that is, and all this forgiveness and compassion that comes from his heart, because he what's the word for it, he had his Catholic priest who came there to that, you know, psychiatric institution, and he repented. That was the repentance, okay? And so a responsible co-creator knows all manifestations are in partnership with the all one. We do not possess or control anything. That's what it is. We do not possess. We're just visitors here. We're cosmic travelers, you know. We just came here to experience things, and we came here on a mission, and we just have our basics. You know, my car here for 20 years, actually 20 years and 1 month, and it's kind of breaking down. But that's my baby Lexus, you know, and one of those best cars, I'm telling you, from 2004. And just kind of, you know, you have your suitcases, you have some clothes, very comfortable, more like a yoga clothes. You know, it's just living simply. I'm minimalist, very minimalist, and so on. But it's called simple living by high thinking. So we do not possess, control anything. So needs, desires, and superimposing will should be avoided. We are stewards of God's Spirit to serve others in responsible co-creation with all one. From this knowing and living this principle, we're eternally free of karmic exchanges, right? So those were of the bloodline kind of family and all this karma and you know, this whole military and all this kind of stuff. That's how we are freeing ourselves from karma, from all this oppression, suppression, from all this electronic harassment, from all these freeing us from all these lies and deceptions and so on, right? We're bringing this divine energies online more and more. We're raising the light quotient, right? And we're unbeatable. We are impenetrable because the light of God, right, protects all. Is very strong and powerful armor of God that is around you. It's not because of fear, it's just because of the power of God that is within you, right? And you came here to be of service and make the difference. You're here to be the change that you want to see in the world. You're the true spiritual warrior. Okay, the time is now. So many blessings and namaste. I'll talk to you next time. Bye bye.